I'm going to try and grab a word with the front row men before they have to go into the procedures. Toby, it's been one-way traffic for you so far, other than the last 2 laps of Heat 2. The final on fresh tyres, has the kart still got it for that longer time?
Yeah, I believe so. You know, in qualifying, we got pole position, obviously, and we showed strong pace throughout the entire session. And I believe, you know, now that we're on new tyres, we can replicate that.
Are there any weak spots we need to be worried about, or is pretty much everything been covered in the bases?
Hopefully everything has been covered in the bases, but I believe that everything has. So it's a good confidence for me, and let's just see how it goes.
Good job. We'll see you on the apex of turn 1.
Thank you.
Toby Gail getting himself ready for a hard charge. Behind us, the drivers are lining up. Has a great chance to move forward. But then, of course, Toby Gail, 5th in the standings coming in, could well be in the top 3 heading home. This could be a fascinating journey and a magnificent chapter in the championship fight for Senior X30 2025. So can Kai Burke make it a hat-trick for Australia after a fantastic run from Kostecki in Cadet and Hollywood in Master? Will it be 3 out of 4 for Australia? We're about to find out. One kart left on the grid by the look of it, I'm afraid to say. And that is going to be the fireball of the 210 of Kay Sachin, but he does get started again. So as long as he gets to his position before the red line, he can resume his position. So here we go, 18 laps. Toby Gail and Kai Burke on the front row from Shavesh Sentil and Ethan Sito, Zadi of Rayqal and Putra Adam. Then on the 4th row, Yuka Po alongside Miguel Quinones, Ayan Marwa and Wadapongai Muchan. Then Cooper, Factory Fish and Feroz Fezrov Fozi. 13th on the grid behind them is going to be TJ George ahead of Austin Gale. Then Tian Runchin and Paco Miguel Sarmiento. Singapore's Corinne Carr, she's alongside her countryman Kay Sachin. Then Jiggy Javier and Zachary Boyce. Ryan Gunnar and Bowen Tao. Issa Mod Fawad and Melvin Shane for Stratos. Then it is Megat Zulkarnain at the tail of the field. 25 drivers pushing for supremacy in this Senior X30 field. The last of those, I believe, is Ayan Sena Prabowo. I'm not sure if they'll start the race, but certainly wasn't on the graphics, so we'll have to figure that story out a little later. But certainly for the moment, it's going to be an amazing start to this campaign. Hang on a minute, we've got a little bit of forming up to do now as the drivers take it a little bit late to form up, but that should be okay for the start. So Senior X30 is going to go down to the wire. The last final in Malaysia in 2025. The last race of the 3rd weekend of the season. Will it go to Thailand, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, or the Philippines? We're about to find out as we go racing in LYL for the last time this weekend. And there's a real charge to the first turn. Sentil's got Rayqal for the inside line, but out in front, Kai Burke had his nose a whisker in front of Gale initially, but Gale has got the lead. Sito to the inside in 3rd. Great start from Ethan Sito. And the CS55 chassis is now behind Gale and Burke. The race has really go. Contact by the back. 3 karts in the walls. That's Gunnar Vordena tagging with Zachary Boyce. And I think that's Megat Zulkarnain. Oh dear, 3 karts together on the first lap. It was always inevitable as Putra Adam dives up the inside of Ethan Sito and gets into 3rd. Sito drifts wide. Rayqal gets through into P4. Sito trying to fight back, but he has to be P5 for the moment. But Kai Burke is all over Toby Gail, and this is what we were talking about. You've got to get your move done early if you want to beat Gale in a straight fight. Kai Burke has got to go after Toby Gail early. The only way to win this final is to have the upper hand in the early stages. Yuka Po slices to the inside and gets ahead of Sentil, as does Ethan Sito. So Gale, Burke, Adam, Rayqal, Yu, Sito, Sentil and Fozi. Austin Gale, 9th place now in front of Miguel Quinones. But they're a long way back from the leading duo as Toby Gail pushes to get level and clear of Kai Burke. But Burke is the only man who can really push him. Up the inside from Yuka Po. He gets ahead of Rayqal. So that puts him in a 4th place on the Explorer. So now they're chasing after Adam. Run wide from Sito, and there goes Fozi. Fozi on the inside of Sito, and now here comes the move from Ayan Marwa. Big dive on the inside as everybody makes for a good move as they work their way forward. Oh, spin from Ayan Marwa. Ayan Marwa loses the kart, and the Formula K's gone wide as well there. So a couple of drivers really having issues on the opening lap. Looks like Cooper Fish got a little bit hung out to dry too. So a lot of squabbling in this first couple of laps of racing. But out in front, it's Gail from Burke. Kai Burke is going with Toby Gail in the hope that he can eclipse him. Then Adam, Yukapo, Rayqal, Fozy, Austin Gail, now P7, ahead of Cito, Sentel and Quinones. So Austin Gail is making good headway. His younger brother is the leader, but Austin Gail still very competitive. And don't forget, at this stage of the season, Austin Gail is actually ahead of Toby in the championship fight. But the way this season has been playing out, if all guns keep blazing for the Gail brothers, they could fight their way up through the ranks, especially with the absence of Kimi Chan and the deterioration of Yu Kapo. But Yu is in P4, big dive up the inside from Quinones. Great racing. He gets on the inside then of Chaves Sentil, and that puts him up another place. The Filipino really up for a good fight today. And not far behind them is Wadapong Aimochan of the Top 1 Motorsport team. Over the top, and it's going to be a really tough mission. Cito's going to drift wide here as Quinones is going to get alongside him. But Cito will crowd him out. Nice work from Ethan Cito. No, you don't. You're not getting an easy overtake on me today. Down the straight, and it really is lining them up. Quinones, Sentil, Wadapong Aimochan and Jiggy Javier. Then Case Sachin trying to close them down for the Fireball team. Bit of a run wide from Quinones, and that really has hampered him. That's what I was saying before. One mistake and it can all go wrong. So really tough mission in the midfield. But certainly up front, it's still Gail versus Burke. But interestingly, Adam and Yu are not that far behind. So Putra Adam and Yu Kapo are trying to stay with them. And they're not getting that far ahead, actually. 4 drivers could be in the mix for this final after all. 15 laps of this to go. Tough racing on the march then, as we wait to see if Gail and Burke can continue to stretch out an advantage over Putra Adam and Yu Kapo. But Yu Kapo is really pushing now on the Explorer. He's getting after Putra Adam in the Fireball. But will he work with him or will he rogue against him? Through turn 1, Yu Kapo will know how to play the long game here with Putra Adam. Down to the inside line, no move yet. There's no point. Don't race each other and compromise each other when you can work in unison and go after Gail and Burke. 2 carts go through the air better than 1. Rayqal, Fozy, Austin Gail, Ethan Cito, Chaves Sentil and Wadapong Aimochan. Kai Burke is actually a lot closer to Toby Gail than the MRC racing team want him to be. Kai Burke is giving it everything he's got as Ethan Cito loses ground, by the way, in the background to Chaves Sentil. Oh, and off the road! Big collision! Big collision of the hairpin. 1 cart landing on top of another there. Goodness me. A big moment between the two. That is the 291, the 201 of Tiano Runchen, and he landed on Kai Sachin. Are you okay? Well, it's going to be a bit of a scratch in the morning, that's for sure, as Kai Sachin, unfortunately, Tian Runchen landed on top of him. We might end up going yellows here. So a big moment as the races continue. But they went through the barriers on the exit of the hairpin, but both out of the cart now, which is good news. So as long as there's no urgent medical attention needed for Case Sachin, then we should be able to keep going. As meanwhile, the racing is going strong in the mid-pack. Wadapong Aimochan picking up another place as the Thai driver gets his run in the mid-pack. A big hustle as he gets ahead of Ethan Cito. Down the back straight, that's Ian Marwa with Miguel Quinones. Dueling away as they've lost a lot of pace, a lot of time, those two. Well, now there's 4 drivers racing for the victory now because Adam and Yu have worked together and they are now on terms with Burke and Gail. They cross the line, and with 12 laps to go, it's Gail, Burke, Adam, Yu. 0.6 of a second between the 4, and Burke needs to make the move soon because Putra Adam and Yu Kapo are right on them. So they're going to have to go to plan B. You're going to need a fast and furious race now. You can't afford to pull away because you've already been caught. So Putra Adam for Fireball and Yu Kapo for PR1 on the Explorer. Pushing hard down the back straight. And there is Ryan Gunnar Vordina having restarted. He's got to be careful because the field is closing up on him. He's got to get out of the way because the leaders are coming through. On the inside, Kai Burke! Beautiful overtake from Kai Burke to get into the lead on Toby Gail. The timing was textbook, and there's no response yet from Toby Gail as Kai Burke launches on the inside under the bridge, and it's perfect. And now Yuka Poe gets on the inside of Putra Adam. And look out, here comes Zariev Rayqal. Zariev Rayqal has caught up to them as well. So now there's 5 drivers fighting for the victory. Toby Gail back to the inside, and Gail retakes the lead. Toby Gail back in first position, now in front of the Australian once more. And this is how the race is going to go with 11 laps to go. Toby Gail is defending. Oh my word, this race has gone fever pitch. 11 laps remaining, and Kai Burke does not want Toby Gail defending. Come on, man, get on with it. They're all over us. Out of the hairpin, through the right. Double apex right-hander coming up. Toby Gail has to think about the move. Can't get close enough, Kai Burke. Kai Burke now has Yuka Poe all over him. Can't get through, and Toby Gail is trying to launch away. Come on, man, push, push, push. Get away from Kai Burke if you can. But the duel for second will carry them onto the tail of Toby Gail once more. And even Fosey is not that far away from the victory in P6. So Gail, Burke, you, Adam, Rayqal, Fosey, and here comes Yuka Poe, making his bid for the inside line. Can't get the move on Kai Burke. Wait for the next apex if he wants to. And Putra Adam has got Zariev Rayqal right on his tail for company now. This is going to be tricky, and here comes Feroz Fosey, the man who stole a win and then got penalised for it in yesterday's second heat. Now he's got pure pace, and he runs deep on the back straight. Here goes Adam. Putra Adam slices in on Yuka Poe. Oh, and there's Ryan Gunnar Vordina on the final turn. He's parked his car. So Ryan Gunnar Vordina has parked his car on the final corner. As on the inside, Rayqal gets through on you. So Zariev Rayqal now into 4th position. Good overtake then from Zariev Rayqal. So P4 as Ryan Gunnar Vordina is now stationary at the final turn. It's yellow flags on that part of the course, no overtaking. But now Kai Burke has got Toby Gail on the run into turn 1, 9 laps left. Toby Gail looks right. Will Kai Burke go for the overtaking move? Not yet. Just give it some time. Oh my word. This is turning into a very brutal race between the leading men. Toby Gail, Kai Burke, then Putra Adam, Zariev Rayqal, and Yuka Poe from Feroz Fosey. Austin Gail is next, could you believe it? 4 seconds back, but in P7. If these guys keep racing, Austin Gail could close them up as well. He's far enough ahead of Chavish Sentil to be comfortable, but just imagine if Austin Gail could catch up to this train as well, as Toby Gail continues to be hustled by Kai Burke up the hill. Adam, Rayqal, Yuka Poe, and Feroz Fosey in the top 6. Some tough racing still to come from Kai Burke into the hairpin. Good pressure from Zariev Rayqal onto Adam in 3rd position. So Putra Adam tapping the ground. Here's the move. As on the inside, Kai Burke goes into turn 1. Putra Adam pats the side pod of his fireball to try and catch up to them. And there's nudging between Toby Gail and Kai Burke. As Kai Burke goes back into the lead of the race, Toby Gail is trying to retaliate. But Kai Burke in the Birolot overalls ahead of Toby Gail, who's wearing his Team Thailand national colours race suit, running in 2nd place. To the inside line. And it's not time for an overtake yet. 6 of them, all in a line, as Chavish Sentil has got ahead of Austin Gail for P7 further back. But now there are 6 drivers fighting for the victory. This is like the Master X30 final all over again. Gail, Burke, Adam, Rayqal, you, Fosey. All 6 drivers, all in a line, all with a part to play in this final. I wonder if Kimi Chan is watching from wherever he is in the world with a wry grin on his face. This is the kind of battle that he's missing out on. But as a karting fanatic, He will still love being glued to it. Rayqal slides in for Adam. At the same time, Gail makes the move on Burke. So Gail gets into the lead. Rayqal gets into third, and it's game on again. 7 laps to go, and Zadiev Rayqal, the Malaysian, now in third place on the Paralympic. But this is the toughest race that Zadiev Rayqal has ever been in. The reigning junior champion now going at it as Toby Gail has to defend. Rayqal on the inside, and he's through. Zadiev Rayqal into second. The Malaysian is now 1 place away from his first senior victory. Zadiev Rayqal climbs up the hill, and the Malaysian crowd here are going bananas. Over the curbs, over the crest, through the apex, and Rayqal has got to get away from Burke, trying to get a move on the inside of Gail. Can the Malaysian strike gold on home turf? Thailand, Malaysia, and Australia. Kai Burke alongside Rayqal. Rayqal goes long way round. Toby Gail is alongside. Rayqal slides. He's still side by side, and off goes Kai Burke. Kai Burke drifts wide. I cannot believe it. The Australian is out of the hunt for victory for now as Yuka Bo dives in on Putra Adam. So Putra Adam drops back to third behind Yuka Bo. Drops back to fourth, behind Yuka Bo. And now he's got to defend from Bosie in the battle for P4 as Kai Burke tries to catch up to them. But now it's Toby Gail versus Zadiev Rayqal. It's Junior X30 2024 all over again in Senior X30. As further back, we've got all sorts of battles going on. In the midfield, there is battle after battle. But in the top 5, a lot of compression and a lot of dueling has led to a little bit of a gap developing. Toby Gail now leads Zadiev Rayqal. Third is Adam. Third is Yuka Bo. In front of Putra Adam, then Ferris Fesrofosi, then Kai Burke, and then Sentil in front of Austin Gail. Toby Gail defends in the lead. Zadiev Rayqal is being backed up here into the path of Yuka Bo, and that's exactly what Toby Gail wants. Here goes Rayqal! Zadiev Rayqal hits the front of Senior X30 as Yuka Bo goes with him, and then goes for the lead. Oh my goodness! Yuka Bo goes from third to first in 5 meters. Oh my goodness! What a race in Senior X30, and we've still got 4.5 laps of it. Yuka Bo leads Rayqal. Nobody saw him coming, and Yuka Bo leads Rayqal. Now sliding with Fosi in with him now. That is Feroz Fosi in third position ahead of Toby Gail and Kai Burke with Putra Adam down to P6. Sentil is 7th and Austin Gail is 8th, and they are closing. 4 laps to go. How did Yuka Bo go from 4th to 1st in 3 corners? That is incredible. The championship leader bounces back to the front. He won in round 1. He was defeated in round 2 to Kimi Chan. And now Zadiev Rayqal wants to get him back with support from his teammate, Feroz Fesrofosi in third. Now we could get a lot of teamsmanship here between the DRM boys as Rayqal is going to go side by side with you. He's enough alongside. Contact! Rayqal commits, and he's there. Zadiev Rayqal goes through. So does Toby Gail. And now Yuka Bo is having to defend from Fosi, but through goes Kai Burke, and here goes Putra Adam as into the barriers goes Feroz Fesrofosi. Feroz Fesrofosi finds the barrier, and it's game over for the Malaysian. Just as we saw for Austin Gail yesterday, now it's Feroz Fesrofosi who parks it in the barriers. His race is over. Now, he's in the barriers under the bridge. We could get yellow flags here, and that will tighten the field up for what could be a 1-lap sprint to the flag. For the moment, it's Rayqal leading Gail. They need to clear Fosi's cart quickly if they want to keep this under green flag conditions. Gail is going to try and run right on the outside. Oh, Rayqal almost caught out by Gail. He is defending valiantly, but Toby Gail will try every trick in the book. Yu is third. 4th is Burke. Still squabbling. And now Toby Gail trying to park it from Yuka Bo. There's yellow flags at the turn, so there's no overtaking. Yellow flags. Nobody does anything naughty there. And the race can continue And I think we got away without a yellow flag. Certainly without a caution period anyway. We've got yellow flags at the turn. Rayqal has now got a tiny bit of distance between himself and Toby Gail as Yuka Bo wants a bit of support from Kai Burke. 2 to go. Here we go. So Rayqal, 4/10 ahead of Gail, but look at the human DRS they're going to get. They're going to go right in behind Rayqal. So Toby Gail closing up with you and Burke for company. Back to the tail of Zadia Rayqal. The Malaysian is holding all the aces up the sleeve now. Toby Gail trying to close up, but he could do with some support. This is not over yet. We're on the back straight, and Toby Gail still has pace. But Zariev Rayqal is on the verge of becoming the 3rd different final winner from 3 finals this year in 2025. First round, it was Yuka Bo. Second round, it was Kimi Chan. In the 3rd round, could it finally be a Malaysian in Malaysia? Zariev Rayqal has got a bit of distance now between himself and Toby Gail. This might be the coming of age moment for the King of Juniors in 2024. Can he win his first senior race? He's got 1 lap to get away from Toby Gail, and he's found 7/10. After all the hard work in the first 2 weekends, when it was looking like Zariev Rayqal may not have had a prayer, he's managed to do all of the homework. And now the Malaysian is looking calm and confident. It's been a very tough mission, but the 14-year-old from Kuala Lumpur is looking good to take his first Senior X30 victory. It's going to be a very tall order for anyone to get near him as Yuka Bo duels with Kai Burke on the last lap. Shavesh Sentil has gone into the top 5. An amazing charge from Sentil. Toby Gail is doing everything he can. He's pushing hard, but he's now, oh, contact as Kai Burke and Yuka Bo tangle. The whole field goes through with him. And the 3rd position is now Sentil, but the victory will go to Malaysia. It's Zariev Rayqal who wins in LYL. Gail is 2nd, and 3rd is Shavesh Sentil. Shavesh Sentil, 3rd in front of Austin Gale and Putra Adam. What a race. Senior X30 always delivers, and yet again, for the 3rd final in a row, they are the grandstand finale we all deserved. Rayqal is victorious in the 3rd race of the weekend. The 4th race of the weekend, sorry, the 3rd final of the year. First it was Yuka Bo, then it was Kimi Chan. Now it's Zariev Rayqal. Oh my goodness. What an incredible end to the weekend as DRM have found the pace in the final race of the weekend for the 14-year-old from Kuala Lumpur. Zariev Rayqal steals the victory away from Toby Gail in 2nd, and can you believe it? 3rd place, Shavesh Sentil. That is wonderful. A breakthrough top 3 for Shavesh Sentil, who's looked amazing all weekend long. When you've got the powerhouse might of the likes of Kai Burke, Yuka Bo, Putra Adam, it's amazing to see Shavesh Sentil rock and roll to 3rd. What a final. That is what karting is all about. Pushing your limits, finding that little bit extra, and motivating yourself to do the unthinkable, the unimaginable, the undreamable. Shavesh Sentil totally deserves this run to the top 3. Let's go and find Toby Gail, who's had a very consistent weekend. Toby, I mean, a victory was obviously on for a long time there, but in the circumstances, given how brutal it was in the last 5 laps, 2nd place can't be too bad a result.
Yeah, it was a difficult final. We struggled with pace more than I thought we would, but, you know, congrats to Rayqal. That was an amazing drive. Felt like we did as much as we could. I just made a tiny mistake and just, you know, lost that 1st place. But, you know, we got back up there and hopefully we can keep on pushing for the future.
You're still right in the heart of the top 5 of the championship, and you get to race 3 times at home. The championship fight's really on now.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's a lot of contenders for sure, but I think it's just the person who's the most consistent, really, and I think that's the key in this championship. It's long, a lot can happen, and I think that's proved itself this weekend for some. But yeah, hopefully we can stay consistent, you know, constantly keep within the podium, and hopefully we can secure the win.
Great performance this weekend, Toby. We'll see you in your back garden at Bira.
Thank you.
Excellent work from Toby Gail. Let's see if we can find the man. We will have the podium ceremony then for the Senior X30 final. It has been a very exciting race all the way through the 18 laps. Less than 3.5 seconds covering the top 5. And we cannot wait to see these guys take to the circuit again at Bira in Thailand for round 4. So let's welcome the drivers to the rostrum. In 5th position for Malaysia, Putra Adam. A welcome return to the Infinity IAME Series Asia paddock for the Fireball, Putra Adam. Excellent work in the final. Great to see him return and get a trophy out of the weekend. In 4th position for Thailand, Austin Gail. An amazing recovery for the man who didn't even see the circuit this weekend until Saturday morning. An amazing fight back from 16th in initial practice to the top 5 after an amazing weekend. In 3rd position for Singapore, Shavesh Senthil. The best ever result for the Singaporean in IAME Series Asia, and it's 3rd position. What an amazing drive from the Singaporean. In 2nd place, also for Thailand, Toby Gail. An amazing race that started with pole position in qualifying, and a fantastic run all the way through. It looks good for him in the championship fight, heading home to Pattaya. But your race winner for Malaysia, Zadiev Rayqal. For the first time in Senior X30, the Malaysian comes of age. The reigning junior champion takes his first Senior X30 win of 2025 in his 3rd attempt. An amazing final podium. So let's hear it for the top 5. They will get together on the top step of the podium for the group team picture with the Monster Energy models. But what a sensational end. Ladies and gentlemen, Putra Adam, Austin Gail, Shavesh Senthil, Toby Gail, and your race winner, Zadiev Rayqal. A hearty congratulations to our drivers in Master, Senior, Junior and Cadet X30. It really has been a sensational weekend here in the Infinity IAME Series Asia. We hope you've enjoyed every single minute of it. We still have 3 great weekends to go in the 2025 season. My massive thanks to all of you watching. Our thanks to the race director, Mr. Ming Soderberg, to everyone here in the paddock, to James the on-clock of the course, Jess Nicholson, our Motorsport Australia observer, and to everyone who competed in, watched, took part in, volunteered in, and has been a part of these 3 weekends in Malaysia. We'll be back on the 1st weekend of July in Pattaya City at the Bira circuit in Thailand. From all of us here, bye for now. See you in July.